Okay, welcome to Chapter 8 of A Dark Future Rising. With me today I have Zen, played by Razul, Caius, played by Sim, and Behemoth, played by the Prankster. And we will get right into it. It's only a couple days after the previous sessions from Chapter 5 and 6 and 7 probably, so not too long after, but we're going to switch to a new scene with a character we have not visited as of yet, and that's going to be Behemoth. Alright, let me... It's a typical day for Behemoth. He's been out of work since the incident where he was changed into something much, much more. He towers over his family, even more than he had when he was a normal man. Now he's a large, large person, covered in hard rock-like substance instead of skin. He looks out upon his family, his 4 children, and his wife as he stands by the grill, flipping burgers and hot dogs as he cooks them lunch on this day. The children have mostly taken to Behemoth's or Rocco's affliction fairly well. The younger ones particularly thinking it was cool or funny. Maybe not so much for his wife and his older kids, but right now superheroes were all the craze, and it wasn't all that odd to see someone like Behemoth. Sure, not everyday occurrences and not something this family would necessarily see, but on the TV, on social media, sure, you see all that kind of stuff. There's even been a murder recently of a superhero, well-known superhero named Amplify, and now there's strange happenings, clearly, as Behemoth has his own story to tell. Why don't you go ahead and set the scene of what this all looks like there, Prankster?
Yeah, so it's a typical suburban area, house with a 2-door garage. Everyone is sitting in the driveway. Out back, you see again Behemoth with a very stretched apron across his rocky body, with a very looks like he's trying essentially to live a normal life. Jeans that are probably something like 5XL, but are still tight. No, there's no shoes that contain his feet. You see him trying to wear this apron that says "Kiss the Chef," but it can't be actually tied up behind him because his bulk is just too big, and he's just got kind of like a grumpy look on his face as he's looking out over the backyard. You see his kids. TJ is probably sitting and reading at the kind of like a bench. Megan is running after Susie in the back, and because David and Susie are fighting. In the middle of that, you see Hannah, who is just kind of exasperated, and she probably looks towards Rocco, Behemoth, as if to say, "Can you do something?" And Rocco looks at them and he just says, "David, Susie, all right, we already told you you can't keep fighting like this. It's too much. All right, don't make me come over there." And then he goes back towards flipping a burger, does that thing where he just does the dad glare until they stop fighting.
Yeah, they stopped fighting for long enough where Susie runs up next to you, peeks around your body, and gives David the sticks out her tongue at him, and he just points at her, and you see them perhaps getting wound up again, but your wife comes and puts a hand on Susie's shoulder, and she just walks off over to TJ to see what he's doing, as kids are easily distracted. Down the street, you hear this noise. You don't really pay it any mind, almost like a marching or You're not sure, kind of a clamoring, but it's just a normal day that you can tell. Um, you need to get a call on your phone, which is probably nearby.
Hannah, still having trouble picking small things up. Can you please come help me?
Oh, sure. Okay. She grabs the phone. Oh, it's Mr. Thomas, who is a neighbor several houses down, kind of towards the end of the street. Uh, did you I- did you ever return his lawnmower from when ours was broken?
Oh God, I totally forgot. I haven't gotten a chance to do it yet, Hannah. I'm so sorry.
All
I
right,
can
all
go
right.
take care of that
No,
right
no,
now.
no. Let me just talk to him. Let me just talk to him. Okay. And she like steps away for a minute and kind of talks into her phone. And she, what do you mean? They would. I don't believe that. What? Okay. Thanks, I guess. And she hangs up and walks over to Rocco and says, he says there's a bunch of people walking down the street, kind of chanting, um, saying, "Get out of our neighborhood." They're walking down this way. You think it's because of? And she looks you up and down.
Yeah, Behemoth just takes a big deep sigh. I I don't know, Hannah, but and he takes his apron off, puts it down. Hannah, will you keep an eye on the hot dogs and hamburgers, and I'll go take a look at this. Try and keep the kids in back.
Oh, okay. Just be careful. Don't hurt anyone.
I will, honey. I'll I will do my best not to hurt somebody. But if something's gonna happen to the family,
Well, okay. Just relax.
I'll be safe. And he leans down and like attempts to kiss her on the cheek.
She gets on her tippy toes and allows you to do so, and she just kind of frowns as you do because your lips are hard as rocks. And as you kind of crane your head to look down the street, you see a fairly large group kind of coming your way, and like you hear them as they get closer and closer chanting, "God against supers! God against supers!" And they start to get closer. And you see one man is dressed in uh, like Catholic priest attire, and he walks ahead of the others, and he has a Bible in his hand, and stops in front of your house and says, "Creature of the devil, I see you now. You do not run and hide before us."
Yeah, so Behemoth steps out from the back gate in his trouble, kind of getting the latch on, and he just eventually gives up and comes out just like in back of his fence. How can I help you, people?
This neighborhood is protected by the holy word of our faith, and you are a monstrosity against his likeness, as are all your kind.
What? Listen. I went. I go to church too. I mean, we haven't been since Christmas, but we were regulars around here. Look, you go to our neighbor, they know us.
Yes, one of your neighbors is who called us to ask to evict you from this area, this neighborhood.
Wait, one of my which neighbor?
Oh, he points across the street. There's a little old lady that lives there. You see her peek out from the window, pulling a curtain back as she looks onto the scene of this perhaps 24 people outside, kind of milling about.
listen, I'm gonna have to ask you guys to leave. All right? You want to try and come back here with some papers to evict or whatever? That's something entirely different. But this is my family's home. We've lived here for years. All right? Forever.
I don't think that's possible, Mr. Rock. And he gives a slight smile, and as he does, we'll switch the scene to these other two. Let me find this daggone... This lighthouse always gets misplaced in my slides. Oh, shoot. Hold on, sorry. Yeah, exactly. I accidentally left the game.
You're good, man.
It's okay. I'll stand in for you. And just like that, everybody received extra XP.
Right.
Yay!
Force. Isn't that one? Lighthouse. There you go. Okay. Let me get you there, Behemoth. Bring you in so you can see.
Thank you.
Yep. So it's been, the next day for you two, after what you had found and come up against, and you are kind of just getting ready for the day. I mean, you've been ready for a while, but what you're doing, and you did turn your phone on, so.
And I try to call. I would call in. TK.
Yeah, so when you call, so let's say you just call right about now. But, whatever. You guys can go ahead and roleplay amongst yourself for a while, what you've been doing since then, if you have any things to talk about, that sort of thing.
Zen would have teleported 2 chairs up to maybe that, that upper railing part to have a nice view. Mm-hmm. And sit there with whatever breakfast we had organized. I think Chaos was partial to waffles we had found. Waffles with lots of sugar.
Yeah, waffles are good.
Yep. So maybe we're just chowing down on some waffles, and Zen would just quietly sit there and look out towards the ocean and eat his waffles.
Yeah, Caius would, as he's eating, every once in a while he'd be thinking. He wouldn't really talk out loud. He was thinking in his head about the situations going on, and I'm sure the Zen would be able to register that, so he'd be asking questions through his, not even talking. He sees talking, and Zen's not even a thing that's needed.
Oh yeah, we can just whisper back and forth in our head.
Yeah, he'd be kind of trying to figure out who the if doppelgangers somehow involved in this new group of people they met, and kind of be asking Zen, do you think doppelganger might be involved? Seems likely.
There is not much to go on that subject, unless we find him. Could be he's part of the darkness. Or maybe resist the darkness. Does this seem similar to any of the other planets you have visited?
Never really visited a lot of planets. There's more than what they're kind of hesitates for a minute in his thoughts. Our group has a lot of concerns with other groups, but it's more of specialists that get sent to these planets in the area. You can understand the chaos of someone who doesn't have any inkling of what's going on with the civilization flying down and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, at least I would speculate your doppelganger is not leading the darkness, as it seems to precede his arrival.
Could be. I just This civilization doesn't really have an advanced AI that's enough to give orders to a group and convince them to follow it. It seems odd.
I was unaware of such technology. Until yesterday. And honestly, I'm a monk. I grew up with very simple means. I know very little about artificial intelligence.
I've seen advanced intelligence and technology, and this planet has slipped by, apparently, of what we've been observing.
I was thinking... It disturbs me that we don't really know friend from foe. While Resist the Darkness could be truthful, and their Sam AI could be telling the truth, we could not verify that yet. On the other hand, they did ask us immediately to commit a crime against what appears to be the legitimate government. So, maybe we should report back. I do, however, prefer face-to-face meetings, as you might understand, over lengthy phone conversations.
Yeah, I understand. As his mouth's not moving because he's not talking. I understand completely. But, well, somebody sent missiles after us. And it's either got to be that computer, or it's got to be your leaders, I guess you could say. Who else would have the capabilities?
Yes, many options. Could be an AI fighting an AI. Could be Sam being the evil AI. We just don't know yet.
Well, from what I observed of everybody else's usage of the technology here, there's always a human behind something. It's never the cell phone, and he looks at the, I don't know if Zen has his phone on, but he's like, it's usually...
Yeah, he's starting to put together the little SIM card, try and, prise it out of the fold in his robes and tries to puts it back in. Fiddles with it.
See, your cell phone doesn't tell you what to do. You tell your cell phone what to do.
Yes. But you see, when I first traveled back in Asia many years ago, flying an airplane seemed very active. The last time I flew it, almost appeared the plane would fly itself. Technology seems to be going the way of managing itself more. Who knows?
Yeah,
But if
perhaps.
you don't have other plans, we could go visit TK Masters and give him some answers and ask a lot of questions. See if we walk by someone who knows something about the darkness or the missiles.
As soon as you get your phone assembled, there's a call.
He says actually out loud. And
Okay.
he keeps chewing, like he quickly chews and presses on the accept button, and
Yeah.
then looks for a second or two where the speaker is loudspeaker, or put it on
Yeah.
speaker, and then presses that button.
Yeah. This is Masters. Where have you guys been?
Oh, hello, Mr. Masters. Good to hear you. We have been investigating as asked. We would like to maybe come visit and talk to you about it in person.
Sure. Can I ask you to do me a favor? I got some reports of some. Well, I don't know if you've heard of GAS. They're some kind of crazy group of really right-wing militant religious types. Anyway, the GAS stands for God Against Supers, and There's one that we've been tracking just for a couple weeks in town, and looks like they're about to go after him. Big mob of them on the street. We're worried about civilian casualties as well. Since, well, you can teleport, I was hoping that you could lend us a hand.
Of course. And you are opposed to this group?
Oh yes, of course. They're legitimately hurt people and will kill any super they can. They've supposedly done it once, but
Oh, that is very unfortunate. Religion was not supposed to be bent that way.
Oh yeah, they're an offshoot.
Hmm. Well, of course. He looks over to Caius, sort of with a questioning eye. We could go help.
Yeah. It'd be good to stretch out a little bit.
Please send me the Google Maps coordinates to this device. Yes.
Yeah, gotcha. On its way, and it, ping, you get it.
And then in that case, I will call in the favor immediately.
I appreciate it, and I think he will too. And all the people around him.
I mean with you. When we come to visit you, I would like you to be prepared to speak about a missile strike that took place yesterday at, and I'll make this up, right? Like
yeah, sure.
2:15 p.m. at the outer, I don't know, they called it Site 2 or Safe House 1 or whatever.
Right,
they had
Mhm.
right? Yeah. At the Safe House, you had told us. I will report back when we have dealt with the gas situation.
Sure. Okay. Click.
Then Zen stares at the phone and goes, "Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, you can
Is this
see.
off now?" He starts tapping the thing. And then looks over to Caius and says, "It's hard to tell when it's off. I don't want him to keep hearing me."
Yeah. Well, you know what you do? You just break it.
Yes.
They'll never hear you.
Fair. And then he stashes he looks at the coordinates that we got received. How far would you say that is? Do we have to fly or do we just do a few hops?
You could do a few hops. I'll make you roll it, but yeah. To get there quickly.
Okay. Zen would tell Caius, perhaps it would be best if we did not appear as supers. But, concerned neighbors?
Yeah, if you think that's best. I always find it best to surprise people that may have an issue.
Well, yes, but also they obviously are very, prejudiced against supers.
Well, see, I'm not a super, I'm an alien.
They also might be very ignorant.
Kai's a smile. Yeah. Well, we can start out that way. If this crowd's reasonable, they'll leave.
Humans tend to cram things they don't understand well into predetermined patterns or opinions they've made in their mind. You will see. So
Yep.
alien or not, your powers are similar to those of the supers, and they might treat you similarly.
Well, but sounds good then. Let's go see what's going on.
So the Zen picks somewhere nearby where we can just walk down the street, but wouldn't just appear right in front of them.
Sure, that's fine. Go ahead and just roll me one of your teleports.
Click. Powers. Teleport. Myself, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
Blip, 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 blip. Hopefully that's high enough. Should
Yeah,
be.
yeah, that's fine enough. Let me see. Why didn't that add to the playlist? No. Okay, whatever. Okay. Swing you back over there. Yes, you grab onto Caius, or stand next to him, and you both teleport kind of down the street and around the corner of another house. And you see around a corner easily, and you hear it, this very angry group. They're like walking around. It's probably close to 20 people walking around the front tree lawn there, and they're like stomping on the bushes and yelling, and some of them have like eggs and stuff, and they're like throwing them at the house and screaming. And you see that there's these two men kind of off from the others, just standing there. One has a book in his hand, and he's kind of waving it, and you hear him say, "This is your last chance, demon, to flee in front of our mighty righteousness, or I will strike you down." Behemoth, what's been going on as they're getting more and more worked up?
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm assuming that the family is staying in the backyard.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, look. Okay, and so as it looks like they're getting up, Rocco's gonna do what he would normally do. So he is going to just like step over the fence, like into the midst of them, and he's just gonna say, "I'm gonna ask you politely, one last time, to get the fuck off my property." And what he's gonna do is, he, like, as he's getting angry, you just see cracks begin to form between his kind of like the areas where the rocks come together, and almost like a moltenness appear as it kind of like glows as he's getting angry. And he's clearly just trying to intimidate these people to leave.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an intimidation roll while you're at it.
Sure.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they don't seem to be all that impressed. Well, you have disturbing appearance, I think, which gives you, I think, a benefit. Hold on. Look. Did I not write it down? I think I gave you disturbing appearance. Go ahead and roll a d10 for me.
Sure.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, so they just have so much overwhelming numbers that they don't seem that impressed. The man in front of you with the priest's attire smiles, and Zen and Caius, you see all this developing. What do you do?
We walk up, just casually walk up, sort of towards maybe 5 feet away from the group, just walking down the sidewalk.
Yep.
And as I get into range, I would like to telepathy the ringleader.
Father Bob. Yeah, you can. Go ahead and roll
Father
it.
Bob? Okay. Powers, telepathy, Father Bob. I mean, that should never fail. Yeah.
He's gonna resist with fortitude.
Because I think, of course, his first, Zen's first instinct now starts to be, gotta make sure it's not doppelganger.
Yeah, it's definitely not doppelganger. This guy is enraged with hate, and pretty much from what you've heard and seen from the guy, you believe that he is definitely believes what he's thinking, or I'm sorry, believes what he's saying. And he believes he has miracles to smite this this creature in front of him, and you are aware that he has used such miracles to hurt people before. So you probably put two and two together, wondering if he's actually not got powers himself.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess as they're walking up and Zen's reading, I mean, if he's relaying that, he'd kind of like, stare at him a little bit as they continue walking.
I can hold whisper on you easily, no problem.
Yeah.
He'll say the father there has powers. He hurts people.
Well, let's see what kind of powers he has. But he's more focused. He'll go back to Zen. If you want to focus on the mob and their leaders, I'll handle the rock guy.
I'd like to see if we can get them to just walk away.
That's what I was thinking, but I think if we can get, kind of stare at the molten glowing guy, if we could get him to step a few faces back so that way as to not to rattle up the crowd more, it'd be great.
Yeah, as you kind of are talking, this is happening kind of all at the same time. So, as you walk up and are thinking between each other, some people can look at you. Behemoth, you see two other people approaching. They aren't saying anything or doing anything. One looks like an old man. One looks like a normal person, if not a little jacked. So I'll let you guys kind of react. Father Bob is looking intently at Behemoth right now, and the man next to him is staring kind of at Caius and Zen as they walk up.
Yeah, Caius' whole thing is he's going to try to get Behemoth to go back to the fence area, while Zen could focus on
tell him
diffusing, right? So he's Caius is just going to, as they're walking up, he's gonna approach Behemoth and kind of like get in between the two, to kind of like diffuse it.
Yeah, Behemoth, what do you do as this guy steps in front of you, right next to you?
You trying to kick me off my land too?
And
my family lives here. I got 4 kids and a wife.
Caius actually turns his back towards the parishioner of the faith there, and he kind of looks at Behemoth. No, actually, I would like you to take a few steps back from the crowd. You look like you're getting a little angry.
I'm getting angry because they're ready to burn down my house.
Yeah, we know this. There's no coincidence why I'm here. He's kind of not talking loud enough that he's, being louder than the mob. We understand this. And he kind of put his hand on his shoulder. That's why I'm not trying to get you to leave your house. We're just trying to defuse the situation.
You gonna help me get these people out of here?
We are.
The father behind you says, "Please, it is time now for this demon to go."
Does he have any knowledge about the darkness or resist the darkness?
No. He's heard of resist the darkness. I don't think it's like a huge I think there's been news about them, but nothing. He doesn't actually know anything about them.
Does he know more about his own powers? Or
he thinks they're God-given.
Okay, and so he just focuses on people and they start having pain?
He basically sucks the life out of them and gives it to other people.
That's how he understands them, right?
Oh yeah, he understands what he can do.
No, sorry. I mean, yes, because he himself, I might not be able to read accurately what a power is because he himself doesn't really know.
Yeah, he just knows it sucks the life out of one person, gives it to another.
Yeah. Then I'd cast mind control on all 4 of them.
What is the range on that? Just curious.
Be able to diffuse the situation. Shift double click. Character sheet.
I'm sure it's fine. You're all kind of in there.
Range is 10 hexes or 10 units. So quite far. As far as a pistol can shoot, I think that is.
Yep. Go ahead and so go ahead and roll it. No targeting, and then I'll roll for each of them.
But how do I... It tells me to click on a token. What do I do?
Oh, you can click on a token, that's fine, but then it'll ask you if you target, and then you just say no.
Oh, no, that's stopped. No, what I'm saying is like I don't know how to physically get past that.
Yeah.
pop-up.
Okay. So you click it. That's fine. Go ahead and click them. And then as you're going through the options, it'll ask targeted question mark and just say
I'll
no.
say no.
Yeah.
you
That's
got it.
all it is.
There we go.
42. Okay. So fortitude. I'm gonna roll fortitude for everybody. Sure.
Wow, they almost got it.
Yeah. Nope. Okay, so how long does it last? Just for my... Okay, I can look. It lasts
Lasts
35
minutes.
35 minutes. Okay. Yeah, so how does it look as you calm them all down instantly and do whatever you want to do?
Well, I tried to make it not look like a superpower was used.
Yeah.
So I activate mind control, but then I introduce the thought of fear. Like, what if we get really messed up, and isn't this wrong? Because he just mentioned children. Sort of those thoughts. I start to have those thoughts circulate their mind of like, is this actually the right thing to do?
Yeah, some of the people in the mall. Oh, I mean, look at the kids behind there they're peeking around. Let's just go and look at this thing. It'll crush us. And they kind of, head on back down the street, walking away. And so does this guy. He doesn't say anything. Bob kind of looks for a moment and looks at them, looks at Behemoth, looks at you, and he finally just walks off with the rest of them.
Read the parishioner's mind as well to figure out if he's special.
No, not really. He just what happens is usually Father Bob sometimes gives him more health, gives him more like I don't know.
So you're saying he wasn't a doppelganger, he isn't a super.
Oh, no.
He's
No, he's just a normal dude that works with Father Bob, and Father Bob makes him stronger sometimes, essentially. So they're all just going to head on down the street unless you do something.
I'd say, well, That's a good question for me as a player now. Do I expose Bob or do I just let it go for now? Because we might be able to find him again, right? Like, that's usually with churches. They're easily found because they want more people to come join them.
Maybe.
If
I mean,
Bob,
finding,
I know-
like, yeah, I mean, his church necessarily, maybe not, because it's probably likely that he's not, like, a normal churchgoer, right? This is a part of a insidious cult-ish, right? So...
I'll have him then, because I have him mind controlled, right? I have them tell the others. I have him then tell the others. Go ahead, head on home. I'll deal with this myself, and then have him split off of the group and actually come back.
Yeah, let's do that.
And
then.
meanwhile, Chaos will pick up his phone and call TK Masters.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, Chaos doesn't have his phone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he crushed it.
And then say.
Oh, you mean Zen's picking up his phone?
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Zen calls TK Masters. My intention as the player,
right, I get you.
is to let him know that Father Bob is potentially a criminal who has actually also superpowers, to expose him.
Yeah, it takes...
That would be the big company I should be calling instead of TK Masters, instead of the agency? Arcadia?
Oh, that's up to you who you want to call.
Well, what is I as a player don't remember.
Marketing
company,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it wouldn't be Arcadius. They're like
an agency would be more appropriate as call in case you find a violent super.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, TK says, yeah, did you take care of it?
Yes, I have Father Bob here, who seems to be a particularly violent person. He has used superpowers he's been hiding from his parish to hurt people, taking their life and giving it to others. What would you like to do with him?
I guess I can send a team down to pick him up.
If your judiciary system dictates that. I would assume it would.
Sure, if I send local law enforcement, they'll just be killed, probably.
Yes, I don't know how to make him not use his power long term.
We'll sedate him when we get here. I'll send them right away.
Thank you. Thank you.
Click.
Um,
Father Bob just kind of stands there.
and then Zen looks over to Father Bob and says, one learns from their mistakes, and I feel you will learn a lot today. Sit, Father. And I have him sit on the curb.
He sits down. Behemoth, what are you doing as this is all kind of occurring? They just kind of wander off, and Zen tells Bob to sit like a dog, and he does.
So yeah, I think the first thing Behemoth does when he sees everybody wander off is, yeah, that's right, get out of here. This is my house. And kind of makes a big kind of show of it, and you see him kind of just take a big, deep breath, and the cracks, the fissures that have kind of appeared in his skin go away as he just kind of goes back to his normal form and looks at Caius, gives him kind of a stare, and it says, I don't know what you guys are doing, but thanks. Appreciate it. I feel like I should. Do either of you like hot dogs or hamburgers? Hannah, do we have any extra hot dogs or hamburgers?
She peeks. Is everything okay out here?
Yeah, these gentlemen helped to disperse the crowd, I think. So just some kind words, I guess. They were able to help what's the word? Disengage them.
Sure, we have plenty of extra food.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
Yeah, Caius would smile. I've just ate. But while we await our friends to come and deal with the gentleman over there, I'll keep an eye on him. He'll look at Zen. But if you'd like to partake in some hot dogs...
Oh, no, thank you. The waffles we just had were wonderful. Also, and this, Ted, correct me if I'm wrong, he would whisper to Caius, none of these six people are the doppelganger.
Oh,
But,
yeah,
right?
nobody's
Right?
doppelganger, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but it has to, it is so
Yeah.
important to Caius
Yeah, I get you.
that
Yeah.
Zen feels like he should do that so that Caius is at ease. And feels like he has someone who actually helps him, right, in trying to figure this out. It's like 6 to go, 7 billion to go. 6 done, 7 billion to go.
Right.
We just sort them manually.
well, until we leave and come back. And
Yeah, come back. He's like, wait, is he doppelganger
No.
this time?
Everybody behind us has to stay behind us.
Yeah, right.
It'll crash the world economy. And then Zen will say, I am afraid this might not be the last time you have to deal with these people, even though we might be able to remove Father Bob here.
Yeah, I think you just see Rocco's jaw kind of set in his eyes, kind of like squint. Well, let him come back. This is our home. I'm not gonna let them push us out. But just because I have a new skin condition, and he gives kind of a smile. This is our home.
Understandable. And I do not mean to intrude or tell you how to protect yours or your own.
No, I know, and I appreciate that. But no, you do speak. You got some good words there, and I'll think about them.
Yes, because public perception is the new weapon of choice anymore, from what I see on this social media and, well, I guess the news. So if they make you out to be a bad person, then everybody else will think you're a bad person. Sometimes it's best just to let people think what they want to think, I guess.
Do you have a Twitter? Susie asks. Or an Insta?
Yes, it is hashtag Zen.
Hashtag Zen. I think it's no, that's an at. Hashtags for searching.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Susie. She's and he like takes his hand and like you can tell he's being like very careful as he like kind of like tries to ruffle her hair because he's really scared about crushing her.
Ow, Dad.
I'm sorry. She's really smart, and this is she knows all about them those tweeters and those the grams.
Yes. I do have an Instagram account as well as a Twitter account.
What about you? She looks to Caius.
Are
Are you special too, like my dad?
Caius would smile and walk over to the young child and kind of kneel down. I'm not as special as your dad.
Well, no one's as special as my dad.
Yes. But no, I do not have a Twitter or hashtag. Although I ran into a boy and I think he put a hashtag on my name somewhere.
Oh. I'm not sure what that means, but okay.
And Kai is still kneeling down. Are you okay? These people scare you?
No, look at my dad. He would have socked him one.
That's right. Yeah, and with that, I think Rock does kind of like a boxing kind of like motion, and he smiles at Susie as he's doing it.
And then you kind of... Have you ever been on an airplane before, Susie?
No.
Would you like to fly almost as high as one?
She looks to Rocco and looks to Caius. Yeah.
And you kind of stand up and look at Rocco. Would you mind if I took her for a small flight? Not far.
You, yeah, this will make Hannah angry. I got an idea. And he kneels down to Susie, and he's just like, "All right, I'm gonna go distract the mom."
How are we gonna fly?
Caius would nod at Rocco as he's saying that, and it's quite easy, you know, to me at least. But as long as your dad's all right with it.
Yeah, he stands up and he gives it a nod, but he looks down at Caius and he says, "If anything happens to her, I swear to God." Just gives her a finger, and then he walks away. Hannah, I need you to help me find something in the house.
Again. It's probably in my purse. Like everything else you look for. Or on the counter. She walks inside with you.
So Caius would offer Susie his hand.
Okay.
And you kind of pick her up. All right, it's important that you hold on. But you'll be safe. And you kind of start lifting off the ground slowly, start going up.
Just like,
kinda,
holy shit! As you go up.
You get up high and see the world. It's kind of neat from up here, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. Oh, you should really have some hot dogs. Are you from this planet? Who are you?
Well, my name is Caius. I am a visitor here.
I knew it. I could tell.
And you kind of start drifting downwards. Doesn't want to go too fast. When he gets there on the ground, he'll set her down. So, what'd you think?
I have butterflies in my tummy. Don't tell... Actually, yes. Definitely tell my brother David we did this and don't take him for a flight.
Well, I'll let you tell him.
David! I flew in the air with a Superman! And you're not invited. And you hear some squabbling. You did not. Yes, I did. You did not. Ask him. That sort of thing.
Okay, so you just kind of smile. And you kind of look over at Zen. So, how long until the father over there becomes a nuisance again?
Maybe half an hour. If he does, I could always do it again.
Good.
I'm wondering if we should have him walk over to that neighbor who called on him and explain to the neighbor not to do that again. I don't know.
Well, would it help, or would it just not matter?
I'd like to disperse this, this gas church, but alas, I'm not good at that, I guess.
So,
I
as
was
you guys
thinking-
are
Yep, go ahead.
as you guys are talking, I think Behemoth is Rocco's walking outside. He's like, "Oh, thanks, honey, thanks." And I don't know if you guys are whispering, but presuming he hears about that, like the dispersing, Rocco's ears kind of perk up and he walks over. "I don't know what your plans are. I do know that I'm grateful for what you all did. If that is something that you are going to do," and he looks around to make certain that Hannah's not within earshot, "I would like to accompany you. I think it's the best way to keep my family safe if they're not around, if you know what I'm saying."
Yeah, has Zen picked up anything? I mean, yeah, I could, if I mind read your character. I'm not sure if that's fortunate or unfortunate for you. I can read weeks back of things that you did, your subconscious feelings, your thoughts, if you're a violent person, what your background is, sort of part of your background, how you know, your thought patterns. Me as a player, I have no idea about Behemoth whatsoever.
Sure.
But could you maybe like base level describe maybe a few character traits, what he does, what, you know, who he is?
Sure. Yeah, so his name's Rocco, and you get the gist that he really just wants to be a good dad and husband. Like that's just priority number one for him. He's not like an aggressive person, but you probably would also be able to tell that there's been a lot of tension that he's been feeling as of late, just because of his, you know, recent-ish transformation within, I think, 3 or 4 weeks is what Tet and I said. So, you know, there's a sense of unease as he's just trying to live a normal life, but obviously this is kind of like really hard. This whole thing is just another obstacle in the way. You get the gist that, like, you know, part of that boxer, part of him is, you know, he needs a dragon to fight. He needs something to go after. And while he can't really, you know, fight his condition, this might be the second best thing for him, is what he's thinking. Just something to aim him in a direction.
He's a boxer, you said? Like
Yeah,
that's his
so
job?
his job was a construction worker, but he was recently laid off.
Got it.
But in the off hours, he's been an amateur boxer for years, like
Yeah.
15, 20 years. So he knows how to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, one could say he's a hardened man.
Yes, indubitably. Yes.
Stone cold warrior.
Yes.
Oh no! We all took those jokes for granted.
Oh, that last one was good.
I'm sorry. I'll let myself out now.
That was a good one.
But he says, well, I'd like to resolve this with the least violence possible, but unfortunately, deeply held beliefs and xenophobia are widespread among mankind, and I'm not sure just walking over and telling them to let you be is going to do it. There may be opportunities with the father here if he were to publicly renounce what he did and maybe change his tune to something along the lines of, we're all made by God, various gods, why would some of us be not God-made. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
But I don't. He says, and he raises his hands. I honestly don't know how to make sure that they don't come back a night from now or another night, or someone throws one of these burning cocktails. It is it's a complex situation.
You know, I used to be able to, when I get frustrated or when I didn't know what to do, I used to just be able to go hit the heavy bag. But just one punch sends it flying across the room. I'm not saying to hurt these people. I'm saying that I want to. And he sighs. I just want to keep my family safe.
Well, fortunately, the people just kind of, maybe when we remove Father Bod here, I'm sure somewhere along the line, someone else will come up with a grand scheme of chasing people who are not like them off their blocks. Especially from what I've seen lately. They can't just leave well enough alone sometimes.
Yeah, believe me, I know what you mean.
So Ted, is Father Bob? Is he the head of gas, or is he just one of?
He's not the head of gas. There's lieutenant, you would think, something like that. A very powerful one. The head of gas is another. They're all called fathers, or yeah. And they, I don't have a name for him right offhand, but yeah, he is not the head of gas now. It's a nationwide thing.
I see. I'll have him then use his phone and start sending in a detailed email, formulating a detailed email to TK Masters, essentially exposing all of gas.
Sure. And about that time that you're sending that text, a couple cars roll up. They're not just cars. There are a couple sedans, and out pop, your typical FBI agent types. And one second. Let me see. There we go. And with them is TK. And behind them coming like two very large paddy wagons, and TK hops out and walks towards you, looks up at Behemoth and says, Zen, Caius, you're Rocco, right?
Yeah, Rocco. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, Agent Masters, FBI.
Agent Masters is good to meet you. Rocco Hart.
All right, good to meet you, Rocco Hart. So, I guess you met our local problem, one of them.
One of them?
Oh, yeah.
Will you tell me there's more guys like this?
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, before we speak, I was wondering if you could come to our offices. All of you, actually, are more than welcome. We're going to be taking Father Bob to a secure location so he can't hurt anyone. But, Zen, you wish to have a conversation. Caius, I need to have a conversation with you. And, Mr. Hart, it would be nice to get acquainted since you are now a part of the gifted community of Los Angeles.
Yeah. Anything to help. Let me just go talk to my wife. Tell her what's going on. And Rocco goes to the gate, opens it. It's at his knee level, probably, and then goes through it, makes certain to carefully latch it again. Takes a lot of effort as he's trying to not break it. You can see that it's been repaired several times lately. And then he makes his way into the house.
As Behemoth is going inside, Caius is going to look at TK Masters. Perhaps you'd be able to find a place to relocate the family. I'm not sure if that mob might come back once they realize they've left.
Perhaps. We do want to keep people safe. And as this is happening, the other agents are kind of cuffing Father Bob. They gag him, they cuff him, they put blindfolds on. And one of them actually gives him an injection of some kind unless you prevent it.
Just a moment, please. Mr. Masters, he was just about to finish. Give him just a minute. He was about to finish a rather lengthy email to you about his associates at GAS.
Sure, sorry. Just trying to keep everyone safe. And he will wait until he sends the email. And it's like one of those, he's got like the punctuation down on his phone. He's just like, so it's all capital letters. And he sends this big Gmail to TK Masters. And after that, they do sedate him and put him in one of the paddy wagons and drive him off.
Yeah, Kai's thinking of Manicus. They got to keep themselves safe, so.
Well, you have done good service here today, gentlemen.
We are just doing our part.
Inside, Rocco, Hand is like, God, this is getting strange. What's happening out there?
Yeah, some suits just showed up. They're here to pick up the ringleader, that guy that had, fermented the mob. Hannah, I want to keep us all safe. It might be wise to go and visit your mom or sister for a couple days until this dies down.
Yeah, you might be right. I hope they don't come and burn our house down or anything like that.
Well, maybe you can get them to help us out with that. At the very least, I'll be here just until we get this sorted out, right?
Yeah, just be careful, okay?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a smile, like a real cheesy dad husband grin, as if he's teasing his wife. Hey, I'm made of rock now, so I don't think a whole lot can hurt me.
Mm-hmm. The rock probably grew into your brain, too.
What's to say it wasn't always there? And he smiles.
That's a good point. Okay, let me get the kids packed. What are you going to do?
Well, they wanted me to go with them. They say that now I'm part of the gifted community, that they wanted to get acquainted with me. I don't know exactly what that means, but my general MO is if the FBI or whoever wants to talk, I probably should say yes.
Okay, yeah, just be careful. Call me when you're done with the meeting. I'll text you when we're on the road.
All right. TJ, Susie, David, Megan, I love you. And I'll be back. You're going to go with Mom for a few days to go visit some family, all right?
David just says, Susie said that one flew with her in the air. I don't believe it. She's a liar. I am not.
Wow.
We flew. Dad knows.
Oh, wow, I can't. It's a pretty crazy story, Susie. I'll have to talk to the guy about it. Yeah, I gotta go. I love you, family.
Yeah, he's looking at you like, and you walk out as they are arguing in the house.
Sign of familial love right there.
TK waves. Yeah, go ahead, Zen.
Zen would actually walk over and open the gate for him, politely, and say, "They love you very much, and I would know."
Oh well, thank you, and thanks for getting the gate.
Yeah, and he carefully closes the gate.
He smiles at Zen. Thank you.
Of course.
All right, so this suit wants to take us somewhere. Me too, I guess.
Yes, his name is TK Masters. He doesn't actually like being called a suit.
Oh. Agent Masters, then. I'll just call him that.
Yes. You do what you will. I'm just advising.
No, I appreciate that. You know, people really isn't my thing. You need somebody to build you something. I could do that, though. Well, I used to be able to. I might be able to learn how to again. I'll stop talking.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, TK just says, excuse me, Mr. Hart. Unfortunately, right now, the only thing we have to fit your frame is this, and he kind of points over to the, what essentially is a paddy wagon. There's seat belts inside. There was 2 of them that came. One took off Father Bob.
So this isn't like a trick or anything, right?
No, no.
He looks at Zen.
It is very much not a trick, but if you prefer not to drive in the car, we can take you through other means.
Oh, that's right.
You did right by my family. I'll trust you.
Very well. It is. As far as I no, he actually. I don't even have to qualify as far as I know, right? Like Zen knows that TK is not planning to murder anyone right now.
No.
Yeah. He says yes, it is safe.
So Behemoth nods and steps his way over to the other paddy wagon, takes a big deep breath, and tries to cram himself in it.
Yeah, you get in fairly easy on that one. And he says, okay, I'm going to shut the door. Don't worry. You won't probably be able to hear us speak in the front, but, well, Caius and Zen, you could ride with him if you wanted.
I am not sure that this man needs more complication in his life right now. The things we have to discuss are dangerous.
Oh, I planned on having you all come into my office and speak. The gifted should know what's happening around in their neighborhoods.
Very well.
Even if they're not directly involved.
Yeah, well, I guess we could take a ride. Me and Caius start walking back to where Behemoth got in at.
Yep.
Keep the big guy some company. Hop in.
Same if there's still space.
Sure. Let me switch over to... where is it? Let's take just about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Sure.
Haven't been on this screen for a while. The old tokens are still here.
I'm going to go fill up my water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're fine.
Mm-hmm. I'll grab a slice of pie.
Okay.
What kind of pie?
A friend of us bought pie at a professional pie place, and I think it is supposed to be apple pie stuffed inside cheesecake.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. That sounds delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Both of which I like quite a bit.
Really good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, those are like my 2 favorite pie things. Pie, cake, / yeah.
Yep, Pellaire caramel on top of the apple
Yeah.
pie. Oh, man.
I've been pining to eat it.
That's a chance.
Sorry. Be right back.
Also, if you ever think there's going to be combat and Zen is in a scene, you won't. Just so you know.
Pretty much.
I was like, oh, that was supposed to be an hour of the session. What are we gonna do now? What am I thinking?
The only thing that Caius has had to fight was missiles.
Yeah. I can't always have like robots attack. That would be kind of. It's just robots against you guys from now on. Always robots.
All robots, all the time.
Right. Oh man.
Ooh, I got an ice cream drumstick here. Hang on. I think I'll have to eat it.
Well, I'm kind of grateful in hindsight then that Zen was here because I was thinking about that. What if combat did happen? I was just thinking about it as Rocco, and I thought, man, he really wants to listen to his wife. So I think he was just going to let them beat up on him until they got tired.
Yeah, except one of them can suck your life away and give it to him.
Yeah, that one I think he would have gotten angry
A
about.
life transfer. He's got that spell. I think oh, he has Raise Dead too. So
That's fun.
So we could have fought zombies.
yes, you could have thought zombies.
Oh, that's another mindless person,
Yeah.
enemy.
That's two supervillains that are now captured or unaccounted for, maybe. One's the Dr. Dream guy, but he only had gadgets, so. Alright. Okay, so you guys drive across town. You guys can talk to each other if you'd like before we get back to the agency.
So how did you? One thing has been going around in my brain that I haven't been able to figure out is how did you guys know to arrive when you did to help out? It was a little what's the word? Lucky.
Well, it's simple. We were asked to.
Oh. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
government called us and asked us to intervene.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they've been keeping an eye on that group for a while. So.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I'm a little bit happier of a taxpayer now that I know that my money's actually doing something for me.
Yes.
Caius would give a smile. Yeah, so far these ones are pretty trustworthy, I would say. Zen would probably tell me otherwise, I would think, if he knew.
Yes, very much.
So you two, like, work together all the time or something?
Oh, we are new friends. We bond over waffles.
Yes, one of the tastiest earth creations I've ever had the pleasure of eating.
So,
Tell you what, Hannah, she makes amazing waffles.
maybe Zen would say she does. Like, to confirm it to Kaios that it's not a lie.
These are actually they're not very good. He's not. Yeah.
So how the heck does he know that Hannah makes good waffles?
Zen, he knows everything.
I'm an old wise monk. But
Like,
you've heard of the idea of being one with everything? Ascending, being connected to the people around you, the earth, the plants, the animals.
Yeah, that sounds like the Force from Star Wars, like that.
Yes. Yes, yes. I'm a Jedi Master.
Yeah, don't we all wish we were?
That's right. But, after a long life of meditation and toil, I've been blessed or lucky to attain a level of being or thinking of existence that allows me to connect with the people around me in a way that enables me to read their mind.
Wait, so have you read my mind?
Of course.
So you could just read my mind?
But why not? We are both humans.
Yeah, but
We
I
both
don't know.
love people. We love waffles. We are cut from the same stone.
He peers at him when he says that. Look, I get that, but it's my brain. You can't just go rooting around there looking at whatever's in there. I mean, it's like if I was to walk into your house uninvited.
I would love for you to visit. I can give you my address, but it is in the Himalayas.
Well, yeah, no, I get that, but what if I just, showed up there without you inviting me?
I apologize. I understand. I
Guys,
do not mean to
Okay.
be defensive.
guys would pop in with. Well, look, when we come up upon new people, especially ones like yourself, it's quick. We have to quickly ascertain if you're a threat or not, or if you are one of the people that we are looking for. Because before we set ourselves up to be into a trap or whatnot, he gets to peer in and see who you are. But the problem with that is that there's a lot of stuff that he can learn at the same time.
I can understand why. Yeah, I guess. It just feels a little, invasive.
I understand. I apologize. You are a good person at heart.
I appreciate that.
I'd be glad to know you better and be your friend so that you can trust me as well.
That's fair. Well, how about after this, we go out for waffles?
Yes, waffles for lunch does sound delicious.
Ios, did you know humans also eat waffles with chicken?
Well, they eat it with pig. Why not chicken?
That's right. We could try that.
Yeah,
Yes.
down.
Let me check the Screaming app. And he pulls up Yelp.
You could probably make euros with waffles.
Oh, I love a gyro.
As
I'm
you're
just
talking,
getting really hungry now.
Yeah, right. As well, that's what this is. These two just eat. That's all they do. You eventually your car pulls into the back of well, you can't see, but when it opens, another agent opens it and it's like, "Oh, come in through the back way." And these two big roller doors, and you walk through, and eventually you end up in TK Master's secure office. Morocco, you're a bit crowded, and there's only a couple. There's a couch that you could sit on, probably the easiest, and a few chairs. TK's in there. He's on the phone. He's yes. He hangs up and looks up, and he's like, "Oh, what a day! Thanks for coming. I appreciate it, everybody."
Yeah, you're welcome. And Rocco's like trying to slowly ease himself down out of the couch so he doesn't break it.
Anyway, Rocco, you're here because, well, number one, I would get to know a little bit more about you. We know that you're Rocco Hart, and just a few weeks ago you were just a normal person, and then all of a sudden you came home and you look like you do. Can you expand on what happened for our records?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was.
Just so you
I
know,
was
he hits a recorder on his desk.
Oh yeah. I suppose you want to record that then. Or yeah. So I'm Rocco Hart. I was just leaving the house late around 9 p.m. Kids were going to bed. Just chatted with the wife, and I was going to get some training in at the gym. I'm an amateur boxer, so I went there. The training helped train some of the new kids that were coming into, and then I made my way back home. And as I was making my way back home, I saw down the alley a lady screaming like she was being mugged or something. So I made my way down the alley, screaming, telling them to get off of her. Last thing I know, she pulled something on me and I passed out. I woke up in some, I don't know, underground facility or something. It was like something out of a sci-fi movie, you know, with the whirling gizmos and computers, and I was strapped to some bed. And could barely make out what was going on. There's some scientist guy speaking in a weird accent. I think it was that lady was maybe there too. It's all really fuzzy, if I'm gonna be honest. And Rocco like takes his hand, puts it on his head as he's just trying to think. They were doing some experiment. And everything started to war up, and they were getting things ready. They said time for attempt 50-something. And next thing I know, the bed moved. And it seemed like a million needles came out of nowhere. And seems like every part of me was getting a shot at once. It was like everything was burning. You can kind of hear him like start to breathe heavy as he's recounting all this. It's like everything was burning, and I screamed as loud as I could. And the guy with the weird accent was just laughing. And something about electricity he yelled next, and right after I was poked, it was like a million volts was going through me. And just remember the pain, the burning, screaming as loud as I could as I was doing it. Just my whole body just started to change. Things started to grow, and it's like I didn't fit in my own skin anymore, and some of the worst pain I've ever had in my entire life. Tried to pull loose, and I did, and it's like I ripped off one of the restraints and was able to roll out. But the charge that was going through me, it started to get some of the equipment. Next thing I know, there was explosions, and there was fire, and I passed out. I woke up to just heat in the room on fire. And he just takes a big gulp. People were running all over the place. A lot of it wasn't just those two people. It was like a whole hospital filled with people. I mean, there wasn't a hospital, but it was just that many people. It was just, like orderlies and nurses and all that, and techie computer people. They were running for the exit, and so I stood up and bumped my head against the ceiling, and I looked down at my hands, and it was different. And I just started to run and follow them to the best of my ability.
Excuse me, couldn't you place the accent of the man who did this to you? You said it was a strange accent.
Yeah, I don't know. It was he sounded like he was one of those guys out of a Bond movie, like a bad guy out of one of those old movies. You know what I mean?
It could be anything. Thank you. Is that
Can I
all?
tell?
I
This
mean,
was-
I don't know that. Do you know
Can you
those
send us
accents?
access to that one? Right? That's the question, right? Is he
Yeah.
well traveled enough? Does he?
Give me a
It's
lore
not that
roll.
obvious. Yeah. I mean, I could just, very long shot. Is that
Yeah.
social? It is not.
It is not. It's knowledge.
mental.
hmm
Intelligence, knowledge, lore.
Knowledge, yeah.
Probably a 5. Yeah, 13.
Yeah, you're not sure
Nope.
as well. You
I can
kind of
try.
you can hear it in his mind, but you're unable to place it.
Ooh, but can I try and speak it? As I hear it?
Yeah, you could. I
try
would
and
say
make
I would
that
say
impression of it.
to mimic it. What would that be? That's a good one. Yeah, well, yeah,
You could bend the system. I can technically read his thoughts, and I
Yeah.
can whisper it in my mind, through my mind, to TK Masters.
and that's fine too. He
Maybe
he's-
Zen would say, it sounded like this, and then just sort of concentrates on TK Master.
Yeah, he thinks about it for a minute. Boy, I wished I could record that. I'm not a linguist.
Agreed. If you bring one here, I could do the same.
Could I, if I was to mimic the voice to let him hear it, would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see here. Excellent. Let us proceed with attempt 53. Everyone to your stations. Rocco, you and I are about to make history.
It could be German or Austrian. Not sure. We'll get back to that, okay? I think we'll have plenty of time. I'll get a linguist down here. Maybe not today, but we'll figure that out. I do thank you for recounting what happened to you, Mr. Hart. I'm sorry. But like I said, now you join a fairly select group of folk. We're calling them the Gifted. And we're the agency for the Gifted, arm of the U.S. government, technically a part of the FBI here. And this is the Los Angeles branch. And these are two other gifted individuals, Zen and Caius, as you've hopefully met.
Yeah.
So, with all our gifted, or most of our gifted individuals, we let them understand that there is a larger issue at stake here for everyone, and for their own safety, and perhaps that they can help in these matters. And that's why I'm going to allow you to sit in on this meeting with Caius and Zen here. And feel free to ask questions. I'm sure they will have some for me, and I'll have some for them. And he looks over to Zen. So, what is it you wanted to know about? Missiles?
Yes. What did you find out about the missiles that attacked us? They seemed like anti-personnel missiles shot at us yesterday at 2:19 when we were investigating Site B on your original plan.
Yes, I've done some research and I can confirm that missiles were shot at that location. I was not aware of it until you had mentioned it, and of course, if he lies, I will let you know. He says, what I know, he brings out a manila envelope and kind of lays it down in a kind of cliche way. These are Russian-made. They are interesting because they are heat-seeking missiles, but on a personal level. They're very small, very compact, high-tech for sure. Where they're fired out of, we do have an idea. It is not far away, but these can be shot from portable missile launchers. They certainly wouldn't be small. We are looking at satellite footage now to see if we can come up with a decent idea of where that was. We have a general idea. Now you guys know, if you don't remember, that they were shot from a plane.
Yeah.
Being a nice GM, yeah, you're right. Maybe Zen would say, alas, your technology should be able to track a plane that flew over us from... And then he thinks about it, pulls out his phone, opens Google Maps, sort of traces with his old finger. Northeast to southwest, I believe, as I was looking up.
A plane, I didn't... let me... He takes his phone and types something in and nods. Okay. I'll have our analyst look at that immediately. So you think it came from a plane, or...?
It did come from a plane.
Huh. Okay, I'll look into it.
Now, you said they were Russian-made.
Yes.
What are they doing here? Is Russia not a different country, correct?
It is a different country, but that doesn't mean there's technology that doesn't come from that country that would be here. If they are Russians, it'd be hard to say at this point. It could be anyone. Mercenaries, even, he just shrugs at the U.S. government if they were trying to throw things off. I don't know. I just want to let you guys know it wasn't me, certainly. I didn't set you up or anything like that.
Yes.
Wait, I'm sorry. Set you up for what?
Being shot at by these missiles.
Ah.
Now, who might want us to be shot at, Mr. Masters?
Well, there's all sorts of types against the darkness. People like gas, but I would be fairly certain in assuming they don't have any technology like that.
Nor airplanes.
Nor
And I believe
that's correct.
resist the darkness probably does not have this kind of firepower.
Maybe. It's hard to say.
Does he actually believe that Resist the Darkness has like access to military planes?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know enough about them to say. He's speculating. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There could be others. You know, the guy you're looking for. He looks at Caius.
Yes. Well, he would have to be in league with somebody who would have this capability. As far as I know of, there's very few people who would be able to fire missiles out of a plane.
So wait, who's this against the darkness?
They're a terrorist organization that they believe that there is something called the darkness, and it is going to, eliminate all life on the planet or destroy the planet, something like that.
Jesus. Hey, look, I'm really glad you saved my family and all, but I'm just I don't know what I'm supposed to do against terrorism. I'm was a construction worker.
That's where you're right, was. Now you are something much more than a construction worker, Mr. Hart. Have you even tested your abilities at all?
I just know that it's been a pain in the ass to close the gate and to walk in the house without hitting my head.
He's like, I have a hypothesis, Mr. Hart. He pulls open the drawer and pulls out a pistol. I believe if I shot you with this in the chest, it would not hurt you at all.
I mean, I'd appreciate to not be shot at, but
Or you could shoot him in the arm.
He shrugs. He's up to you, Mr. Hart. I could have the medical team do a full analysis on you, but perhaps this is best. So you just see that you're no real person. Well, sorry, that's not exactly what I meant. You're not just a real person anymore.
Caius would kind of tip back in his chair. If you'd like, I'll let him shoot me first.
Rocco stares at his stone hands and chest and everything. And he knows that, like, he just tried to tap his daughter in the head earlier as softly as he could, and it still hurt her. Do it.
He nods and he says, I hope I'm not wrong. And he levels the gun at you.
Caius is ready for a ricochet.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. No, I want this. My Syrian escape skills are not good.
First time for everything.
One day, yeah. There we go. I can barely hear it.
And Caius would...
Yeah, he levels the gun at you, and he finally takes a shot. It hits you in the shoulder, and you don't even feel it. And there's no ricochet, and instead the bullet just falls from your skin flat, like a dime on the floor. Tink as it hits the ground.
Yeah, Rocco just nods. Could have used that, 10 years ago in the ring.
I don't think they would let you compete.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do a whole lot of boxing. So, terrorism, what do you think I could do to help?
There's various ways to help, and he sits down and he starts rubbing the back of his head and his chin. He looks a bit out of sorts for a second. Hold on.
Is it obvious to me why?
Yeah, well, there's good. Yeah, I'm gonna let you know in a second.
And for clarification, he said to end all life, right? But I think Resist the Darkness explained to us that the Darkness is only trying to start a supers against supers war. Or did I misunderstand as well?
Well, TK said, yes, that is true. Resist the Darkness did say that, but that it would destroy the planet in the process.
Oh, so the war would be disastrous.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So is that conveyed that they would destroy the world?
I think he did mention that. Yeah, that they thought. He said essentially, paraphrasing, that Resist the Darkness thought that the Darkness was going to start a war. He did not say super versus super, but he said that would destroy the planet and all life on the planet. That's what he said.
Well, whatever I could do to help, the planet, I'd like to help. It is, after all, where I keep all my stuff and family. So, if you think I could be helpful, the only thing though is that I need to provide for my kids and wife. I don't got a job right now. So I don't mean to come off as selfish, but Is this a paying gig?
Not typically. I can see what we can do about perhaps a stipend.
If we'll keep them afloat, that would help. Also, if this involves danger, you gotta be the one to convey that to Hannah, not me.
Speaking to spouses is a bit above my pay grade, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I thought so. Takes a big deep breath. Okay, go on. I didn't mean to derail you.
No,
Sorry.
No, I think that's Caius, I have something for you at your leisure. He pushes over another envelope to you, but I think that's all we have for tonight or today. Sorry. Perhaps I'll see you later.
I was
All right.
wondering if you were interested in waffles as well to celebrate this little get-together.
Well, I do like waffles. It's after lunchtime though.
Maybe ice cream?
Well, who doesn't like a little ice cream? I can kick out a little early today.
Caius would smile. Waffles and ice cream.
Hey, if you get your things, we'll wait for you outside.
Sure. Let me secure everything in here.
Yeah, Caius would grab the envelope when he stands up.
Zen whispers to both of you, because I can whisper to two people at the same time, that Mr. Masters is concerned about these missiles and potentially them coming from his own government. We are leaving with him to find a secure place to talk in private.
Caius would nod.
Is is Master still there?
Oh, he's there. He's when he says whisper to you, he means in your mind.
Oh shit! Yeah, it's the first time that actually
Yeah.
probably a voice, sense voice, just
Yeah.
manifests in your brain.
Holy shit, are you serious?
Well,
Question
Zen's
is,
getting ready.
Did you actually say that, or did you think say that in your mind? It's sort of an extra level of complexity because he's a
Yeah,
bit like,
I don't think
He
would.
probably say it. Yeah.
Yeah, he would say it out loud. I mean, that's the first. He wouldn't know. He's just like, are you kidding me?
As Zen's getting ready to explain it to Rocco through telepathy, Caius is going to open the envelope and read it.
Yeah, you see that it's a it says top secret, and there's this prism on the front, and it's something you vaguely recall, but not from Earth certainly. And it says top secret gate in quotations is the file name gate. But as you guys are whispering, thinking, yes. Anyway, you can. My receptionist will show you out.
Thank
There
you.
are a lot of questions. All right.
He looks.
Zen
He
will
looks to
essentially-
Rocco. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll explain a few more things to Rocco. Essentially, explain. I can read and speak to your mind. Have
Oh,
not
you could- so
seen the
you-
movie X-Men? It's a bit like Professor X.
So you were the one just talking to me in my head?
Yes, you could talk to me back in your head.
Whoa. And he just says in his head, hi.
Hello, my friend. It is safer this way and can't be listened to, as far as I know.
Yeah, still out loud, though. He's like, oh, that is crazy. And just follows you.
The receptionist looks out as you say, "Oh, that is crazy." As you walk by, and she just gives like a cock of the head. You head outside, and Eventually, TK does catch up with you guys. It's, oh, Mrs. Ruby. Miss Ruby, that was your... that's the receptionist.
And Caius doesn't find out anything like other than.
Well, he hasn't
people
had
and
time to read it through, but...
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm just taking notes, so I'm like, he reads the envelope, and
Yes,
then I stopped typing, and I was like, damn it!
Yeah, he glanced at it to kind of see what it was.
Yep.
So, yeah, TK...
Has Masters?
yeah, he
Has
comes...
Masters read this?
oh, you're...
Or written this?
No, he didn't write it.
Okay, cool. Has he read it?
He has not.
Bummer. We actually have to have Caius read it then.
And then Caius says, this is what... Yeah, okay.
Yep,
So... there will be information dump regardless. So, TK comes out. He walks towards his car. He's like, "Where should we meet?" I mean, he's kind of speaking it in it. Oh, he's speaking in his head. That would be
Far
smart.
with him.
He
in
knows.
his- in his head, like, and I'll make suggestions like the sewers or a lighthouse.
He says,
or,
"Yeah, why
like,
don't you teleport me to where have you been staying? We haven't been able to find you for 2 days."
And then Zen says, maybe I should not reveal that location to you then.
It's not a bad idea.
Any other remote place might be good.
Sure, you pick. Don't tell me in case I am, interrogated or something.
Okay. And then he looks at Caius and Rocco and says, I'll be right back. And he opens his phone and pulls up that app from the sewers agency that he had procured, so he knows where the sewers are at all times.
Okay.
Teleports him and Masters down into the sewers, and then comes back up and teleports the other two sort of one by one down as well into the same spot.
Okay.
It's like, you know, turtles.
Turtle power.
Yeah.
For sure. Know all about it. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Let me get you a good picture. Or at least a...
Because I feel like even if you had a, whatever it's called, a parabola microphone, like you can't aim it at us because we're underground. And if you had a satellite, you can't aim it at us because we're underground. And ideally we shield it from a lot of radiation as well. Like signals should probably get blocked too.
Oh yeah, I don't think a cell phone would work that far underneath unless it was like a... something special.
And in contrast to like metro underground lines, sewers are everywhere.
Yeah.
At least as long as we stay in an urban environment.
Right, just give me 2 seconds here. Turn that on. Yes. Turn that off. Save. So quickly I can make a...
Alright, back.
Yep. Alright, let's see. Get you out of there. Yeah, so how does it... Why don't you describe to Rocco how it feels to be teleported?
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely a new sensation for him.
So Zen will walk up to you and sort of say, is it okay for me to touch you and move you physically like a teleport?
Whoa, like on Star Trek?
Yes.
Yeah. No, that'd be great. I think I've been having to do a lot more walking. So yeah, any way to get me quicker.
There you go. Here we go. Open your heart. And then he does, with that, there's sort of like a flash, a sensation of just a flash in front of your eyes. And just for a moment, you have a very strong sense of calmness and serenity and happiness. And it's almost as if you can feel like that there were a lot more people around us where we started and a lot more trees. And you get a sense of You belong with everybody else, and boom, you're there in the sewers.
Yeah, all that serenity went away quite
Yep,
suddenly.
it's just a wisp of a sort of a hanging on emotion of, like, almost like you had, like, what, a spa treatment, or like a happy day with your best friends or something like that. Just like a very short snap of that.
Oh, that was nice. Then he like takes a big smell. Oh my gosh! Is this like when you get drunk and then the next day you feel terrible? Is that why we're in the sewer? Because that was great, and now this is terrible.
Apologize. We went for a moment through what my religion calls nirvana, where I exist these days. But now we are here to avoid your government tracking.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Wouldn't mind maybe turning off your phones? I don't know much about these things. And then he looks to Masters as he also turns his phone off.
Yeah, Masters, I already get it turned off, don't worry.
Fios smashed his. How about you, Rocco? Would you mind turning it off?
Yeah, he doesn't have his phone on him, and I had it last.
Yep. Does he? Is he naked?
No, he is like
Huge clothes, right? Like very, as you said,
Yeah.
5XL.
Yeah, he's got these like jeans on that are just like very tight. You can see even like the rocky skin, kind of like. Oh, this is the best I could do.
And then Zen will just get right to it and say,
Is Sim back? I just don't want him to miss this.
"Oh,
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh,
Okay,
I didn't.
cool.
Okay,
Yep.
there you go.
No, this.
There's a BRB. You're right. I didn't even see it."
Okay, go ahead.
And he says, "Agent Masters, please, what were your concerns?"
I mean, I'm having a hard time getting, like, all the information from my my bosses and analysts. I mean, it's not really that surprising in some senses, but I mean, what if they were the one that did this? There's a lot of moving parts for things, and we did know that you were going to be there or at one of those places, and then you're shot at with, as you say, highly advanced heat-seeking missiles on a personal scale, which almost is unheard of.
Yes, the other components you might be missing are: one, we met an officer there who was on a mission to gather tech. I read his mind, and he didn't, other than being on that mission, he didn't seem to be waiting for us so that they could shoot us. But it is a variable. And the other piece were that we found these high-tech looking robots that had been smashed and destroyed as well. You must have known about them. Perhaps one of them signaled somehow that we were there? I'm trying to figure out how they could have known we were there at that time.
Right, I don't know the answer to that. I mean, we knew that you would be there in the next few days. Don't know that we would know that you were going right there. Were they tracking your phones? You did turn them off at some point, that's for sure.
We did, while quite a while away in the forest.
So they couldn't have tracked you there, but maybe they tracked you to the forest and assumed that you were going there.
Or they were watching the area. That's another thing they could have did.
Right.
I assume we would have shown up on satellite imagery.
Yes.
We were outside, after all.
So you guys were fired at with missiles, and you don't know why, you don't know who.
Yes.
And we think it could be anybody.
Yes.
And he slowly turns towards the agent.
That's why we're here. Because I don't know any more than you do, but if I were you, look, I've met a lot of gifted people, whatever you want to call them. That's the PC term, but supers, whatever. And there's good and bad, just like normal people. But I'm not. I don't want to see you guys get killed if you didn't do anything wrong, right? And you know how the government is. There's a lot of people in it, politicians, dirty people. Who knows? They could use this for any end they want, right? And then there's like gas and against the darkness. And, is there a darkness? I don't know. But, I just don't trust anybody right now.
Well, if you could find a convenient way to give me an office tour or meet your superiors, then it would be very quickly evident who of them does know something about the darkness or the missiles.
Yeah, that's the problem, Zen. None of them are here in L.A. I mean, we have a field office manager, but I don't really receive much from him. So they're in D.C.
Well, we could get to D.C.
Could, if I could arrange something. I'll try. But listen, I think you guys need to not necessarily stay off the grid, but maybe, I don't know, lay low.
I mean, like we have been. And Cass kind of shifted a little bit on his footing.
Yeah, but, I mean, just turning off your phone is kind of obvious that you're trying to hide.
How else would you do it, Agent Masters?
Honestly, I would find a place to stay, and I would congregate all the supers there, and then I would do whatever we wanted in secret from that location. Or whatever you needed to do. Like a base, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that would allow us to stay quiet and off the grid, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you could move your family there, I guess. I don't know if that's the safest thing, but...
Well, right now, Hannah and the kids is staying with family, so...
that's good. Don't tell me where. Don't tell me where.
Well, I don't think the government would have a hard time finding him.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I don't know what they would care, but who knows, right?
And Zen says, we have to remember your opponent, Caius, and Rocco, you don't know that, is someone who can shapeshift to turn into anyone, and could be listening in on us through his scrying ability right now.
Yes. Or maybe he already figured out how to assume control of somebody that was in the government.
You for real?
Yes.
Yes, he's a changer. He can make himself look like anybody,
Very bad man.
including important people involved in, can't look over at TK, in your agency, or even another agency, or even your world leader or country leader, as you would say.
Hmm.
Well,
Now, if you wanted, we could go back to your office, and I could take a few hours to check everybody out. At least maybe it would make you feel better about your own colleagues.
I mean, it's possible that somebody's spying on me, but, I mean, they really don't have to. There's cameras everywhere. I don't know.
I mean about them knowing something about the missiles or the darkness.
I doubt it. And just you walking around and talking to everybody is going to put them on edge, because they know you can read their mind.
They do.
Of course. We brief everyone of what superpowers people have.
I understand.
You mean the government? Everyone knows about all of us?
Well, my office does. That's what
Of
we
course.
do here. See, Mr.
Of course, there would
Hart?
be a registry.
Yes, oh, there's definitely a registry. We know of every superhero that exists, every alien that's on this planet. Well, maybe not every. If they've come here in secret, or if there's a super keeping their powers secret, then yeah, we might not know about them. But anybody that's publicly done anything, we know about it.
Today we added Father Bob.
That's right.
I think Caius would kind of hold up the envelope. So where did this come from?
I'm not sure. It got slid under my door, honestly. And I thought it was from my case office, but I made some inquiries, kind of quiet-like, and don't think it was them.
Caius would open it up and take out the contents. Is it just a picture?
No, that's the first page. It's the prism, and then you go onto it, and it talks about a prism gate that was found in some islands in the Pacific, and that there are reports that when you look through it, you can see space.
And you said that Caius kind of it looks familiar to Caius.
Yeah, give me a lore roll. See if you know exactly what it is.
The answer's probably going to be not at all. Let's see. Would it be under mental?
Yeah, it's under lore, or it's under, I'm sorry, knowledge. No. You're unsure.
Yeah, it seems familiar, but yes, I don't know what this is, Mr. Masters.
That's fine. I have the location of it. I think it's or no, he doesn't say that. I'm sorry. He just shrugs. Yeah, okay. Not sure. He just waves to it. There's a longitude and latitude of it in the document. There's a whole report on it, but
Perhaps I should take a look eventually, once we get settled here.
But he has the location for where they were found, not necessarily where the gates are at now, right?
The photographs of the gate looks like it is not able to be moved. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
there's just one that you can tell.
Yeah, I should be able to fly there.
Well, like I say, I wouldn't tell me exactly what you're going to do, but I think the best move is to kind of find a place that you can work out of.
Yeah. You can't look at Zen. Yeah, I don't think we should stay in these sewers. It's kind of smelly.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you fellas. It's going to be hard for me to be inconspicuous. And then he motions at himself.
Well, it's not like we'll be sending you to the grocery store.
unless they need help lifting something heavy.
I could do that. What about like a big basement, something like that? Something. I know. It seems like. Well, maybe we need to talk about this later.
I do have a list of unused safe houses. I wouldn't know which one you were in. I haven't looked at them specifically. If that's a list you want from me, I could perhaps make it
Sure.
yours.
At least we could make sure not to use one of those.
Yes.
Not to use them?
Of course, if you have a list, then someone might just go down that list and look at all of them. Perhaps even with the help of a super. Speed it up.
Well,
But
okay.
if in our search we find one incidentally that is also on your list, we know to discard it.
Sure. Anyway, well, if you want to zip me out of here, you can have your own conversation about all this. I'm going to go on like it's business as usual. I'll let you know about Father Bob.
Yes, what kind of ice cream did you have?
Vanilla.
There you go. And then he touches him and both go poof, and they just disappear. There isn't actually an audible poof, but,
Right.
you know, they disappear.
It's an audible bamf, to be clear.
Yep. And then Zen reappears maybe 10 seconds later.
Well, maybe we should find a hole in the ground and find a suitable spot.
Yes, something close enough for Rocco still to visit his family, because otherwise I might have recommended something really outlandish.
Well, wherever we go, always bring them eventually.
Yes, but he doesn't strike me
I'd
as
like
the person who would like to be dependent on others.
Well, I would say that we need to kind of look at Rocco and Zen. I would say that we need to move them from wherever they're at. The government will have no problem finding them if they're involved, and well, whoever fires missiles out of planes undetected probably has no problem finding them anywhere.
Wait. I mean, like, listen, I'm all on board to help you, but why would they fire missiles on me? What the hell have I done?
No, but they would take your family to get you to cooperate with them. So perhaps we ought to find a spot and move them to that spot.
Yeah.
I'm afraid your life became much more complicated once you attained these powers.
Yes. Even without our intervention, somebody would eventually come looking for you.
But to coop up children in some bunker does not seem right. They have friends, they have school to go to, they have a routine.
Yeah, but it's not a lifetime. It's until we get it all sorted out.
I will say no more, it is not my decision.
Yeah. But first we need to find a spot.
The current spot seems to work, as long as we never come and go, physically.
You mean this spot right here?
No, we have a lighthouse.
Oh.
Yeah, a lighthouse could work. That or
At
Into
least
the-
for now.
into the wilderness eventually.
A
Did-
basement, perhaps. But there
Yes.
aren't that many here. It says earthquakes prohibit the building of basements. I don't know. An old forgotten bunker for someone preparing for a nuclear holocaust, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, I guess we start at the lighthouse. I'm sure your family would be safe now. We just got to keep it in mind that we have to observe the situation as we go.
Yeah, I think that's wise. At the very least, Hannah's getting out of the house, so those gas people shouldn't be able to get at her or the kids, and going to visit family. But yeah, I guess the lighthouse. I mean, there's if that guy doesn't know about it, and if you guys think it's safe, and it's and I mean,
It
with
is
your
safe
ability to poof
until-
people.
It is only safe until you activate your phone there, which I believe earlier today I did, now that I recall.
That is true. Which means it pinged.
It pinged.
Well,
We need a new place.
What if we was to do the opposite? Like, I know that we're scared of, people finding us. But what if we just were where we were, just publicly? I mean, would people really dare do something in a public location?
What you don't know is that when the missiles were shot at us, we were with hikers. Whoever shot the missiles did not care.
Gotcha. Well, look, if there's missiles involved, the one thing I want to suggest is something underground. I know it's difficult with the basements thing you're talking about, but, if we can find something underground, because, I mean, that should possibly protect us. You know, missiles can't follow you underground, right?
What about the mountains close by? Would those be safe from these earthquakes?
Perhaps. Like, I'd like to not. Yeah. I mean, perhaps. You see him like pulling out his phone and he doesn't have service. And he's like, I was going to look up bunkers or underground.
So I have a quick question, because Rocco is a construction, or was a construction worker. He was a construction worker for a long time. So I'm wondering if I could do some type of a check to ascertain whether he might know of anything like that.
Career or craft, which you have no ranks in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can roll it still. It would be, you would have to roll 2 10s, though. Actually, it would be impossible. It's ranked there. But you could, so what you could do is you could spend a fate point. So this is what you can do. So you can spend a fate point to make that check trained, and you could spend another fate point to give yourself a benefit if you wanted. So that's 2 things you could do.
And fate points, like, they disappear when you use them, right?
There's 2 ways to use them. Burning them and spending them. Burning them, they'll never come back. Spending them, they come back the next session usually.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah. Let me spend them to. So I'll make the.
So make a career roll, and then it'll ask you. How do we do this? Because it's not gonna destroy. I would just say, roll career. When it asks for a benefit, put 1 in there. Let it roll, and we'll know if it should explode, and then we'll roll manually if so.
Okay, so no additional mods.
No.
No hardships, right?
Right. So something.
Not
So
bad.
go ahead and roll D10.
The 10 should have exploded.
Yep. Okay, 21. I think that's probably good enough. Honestly, this probably would be a mundane anyway. So yeah, 21 would be plenty. What were you looking to do exactly?
So I was thinking 2 things. I was thinking maybe he would know building codes to know more
sure.
about underground stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, if he ever built something underground, maybe he has a recollection of it.
Yeah, we'll go one step further. Is you were on a construction job of a very nice house in Beverly Hills, and based on, we'll say, political and monetary contributions to certain agencies by the construction company and the builder, that they got a nice basement put in there as well. A huge one, in fact. And also the whole house is nice. But during the construction of the house, actually, it was never wholly finished, and no one ever moved in. And you have, since you were very proud of your work on this house, and it was the most upscale house you've ever done, you've driven by there a few times just to kind of look at it, and you've actually went inside. And although it's in kind of rough shape just from nobody being there, it's very livable. And yeah, and then there is a basement area to it as well.
Okay, I got an idea. If I think of something, can you see it? And he mentions to Zen.
Yes.
Okay, I'm thinking of something, and can you, if I just have it in my head, can you bring us there? I'd give him directions about how to get there.
Yeah, you probably have the address somewhere, even if you don't remember it exactly.
I think that this could possibly be a place, at least temporarily. It's I think it could be a great spot.
And since it's fed by the GM, I don't have to like poke holes into it, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
Unless there's something specifically you want to know about it, that would be.
I mean, if it has a sunroof and the satellites can see us walk
Oh
around.
no!
Inside,
Oh no!
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
No. I wouldn't do anything like that.
Yeah. Because otherwise, I'd be
Yeah.
like, no, it doesn't have. It has to be a bunker, and nobody can
No.
see us coming and going.
No.
And
Yeah, because it was built for celebrities and the like. They like to keep their private lives shielded from the paparazzi as best as they can. So we made certain when we built it to make certain that we took those precautions. So it could be I think it could be a possible good place.
Or sounds good.
Just to let you know, you don't know the actual scope of doppelbanger's scry ability, so just keep that in mind.
So if, for example, his ability is he could scry on anyone anywhere they are, then he might be able to perceive the surroundings and deduce from the surroundings where that is.
Potentially, yeah. You don't know what the limitations are to them. You just know that he has found you before.
Yeah.
But
which again.
But there's nowhere you could hide that would matter, right?
The thing is, Doppelganger knows about Caius and what Caius can do. So Doppelganger shooting missiles at Caius would be weird because those can't kill him anyway. Right?
I mean, that's up to you guys to determine.
Okay. Because of course that's how he could, right? That's a vector of how these missiles might have been aimed at us.
Uh-huh.
Was he could have scryed at us. I don't even know how to use that.
Yeah.
That way
Sure.
shot the missiles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's possible.
But we don't know how to do anti-scrying, so meh.
Yeah.
Has Arcadia ever gotten back to us about scrying? Had you said like, oh yeah, they know nothing about that ability?
They were going to research it, I think, is what I said. They haven't yet, no. Nobody's been able to get a hold of you until today.
Fair. Because then maybe Zen would say, maybe we check in with Arcadius. Is it Arcadia? Arcadius? I don't recall.
I don't either.
That company?
I think it's Arcadius.
Arcadius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Arcadius. All right, so I had it half right. He says, perhaps we should check what the limits of the scrying power are, if anyone at Arcadius knows.
Yes, we could do that.
Actually, I'm sorry, I've just read my notes. Ted, you literally said that Kree-Fala, which is the doppelganger, has the ability to locate anyone they've seen before. Separate from scrying. Or however he does that, but you literally literally word.
That is scrying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you literally said he can locate anyone seen before, so okay.
Yeah, but that's not the only well, I mean, how did you get that information is the question. I mean,
you said so.
Yeah, I said so in character, out of character, or
yeah, I don't know that context. Yeah.
I don't think I would have said that out of character, honestly.
Got it.
I think Behemoth sees Caius and Zen kind of like maybe they have like a furrowed brow as they're like trying to think through all of this. And Behemoth, takes his hands and puts them onto each of their shoulders, and he looks at them. Look, I've only been at this 3 weeks, but what I know is that I can't. I don't know everything that's going to come next, but I know that I can't have it stop me from living my life. So maybe we at least try this place out for a night. If it works, great. If it doesn't, we move on. But it can at the very least be a temporary refuge in the storm.
Yes, this I agree. And also, too, I'm sure we could expect some more supers to join us at our location, so it has to be suitable, or if not, we eventually have to find suitable spot for others to join us. Because I'm wondering if TK is going to send us stuff when we need to find and rescue a super.
Yes.
So.
A good idea.
But yeah, I think it'd be great. Until we need to move.
Let's get out of this place. And he
I
pops
agree,
out.
it stinks.
Pops out Rocco, and then he pops out Caius.
You pop out of the sewers. And your destination is this half-finished mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And you get there, and you see the lawn is long in front, and it doesn't look like much from the outside. There's a gate, obviously, tall rod iron fence, and it kind of is at the end of this road, kind of sequestered from the surroundings. Like Rocco had said, there's a double gate, just for it to keep the paparazzi out, so that might help. And as you consider your next moves, this is where we'll end it for tonight. So,
Nice. Woohoo!
Yeah. Thanks, Tet.
thank you.
Thank you for the entertainment.
Of course. Let's see.